Today we're going to be talking about the height needed to be a Division One quarterback. So how this video is going to work, you guys, is we're going to be scrolling through 24/7 Sports top like 50 quarterbacks in this up and coming recruiting class, and we're going to take a look at their height, their weight, their size, because we get a ton of questions from quarterbacks like, "Hey, coach, I'm XYZ height, and am I tall enough? Do I need to gain weight? Well, what can I do?" Now, height's one of those things, you guys, that you can't control. It's one of those things that's purely genetic. But we're going to show you. I'm going to scroll through this list of guys, and we're going to pick just the shortest guy on this list out of however many quarterbacks that we're going to scroll through, because I'm going to keep scrolling until we find a guy who is below, I would say, 6 foot. And then we're going to take a look at his highlight tape. And on his highlight tape, we're going to talk about some of the key attributes that shorter quarterbacks need to have if you want to stand out and if you want to play at a Division I level. Okay, so I hope this makes sense, you guys. Hope you guys get a ton of value out of this clip, because we know a lot of you guys are worried about height and etc., but you shouldn't worry about your height. You have to play with the hand that you are dealt. So let's take a look. So obviously number 1 through 4 here, right? So Julian Lewis is probably the shortest guy out of 1 through 4. He's 6'1", but you got this guy 6'5", this guy's 6'4", 6'3", 200 pounds. Trees, you guys. And you see where they're going. We're going LSU, Ohio State, Tennessee, USC, I think. I don't know if he's necessarily committed there, but you see all these guys. Then we roll down the list, right? 6'1.5", 6'3.5". Now, again, both of these guys are 6'1", 6'1" and 5'10". It's not a huge difference, you guys, at the end of the day. But at the quarterback position, they put a lot of stress on height. They want to see guys who have height, because, there's always the stigma around shorter quarterbacks. But I can tell you this right now. Julian Lewis, obviously, I'm sure most of you know who that is. That guy can rip the ball. He's been a super talented quarterback from the time he's been like 8th grade. There's been a ton of hype around this guy. You saw in Longstreet, got to see that guy play live this past fall in a playoff game. One of the best quarterbacks. Probably the best in California, I would say. I think he's ranked the best in California. I thought he was one of the best in California last year, even as a junior. So, legit guy. Those guys have a ton of talent, and that's why they're ranked 4th and 5th. But again, they're 6'1", right? They're not below 6 foot. So, we keep scrolling through this list, right? You got 6'3", you got 6'5", 6'5". Again, these guys got a lot of height, fellas. Again, and these are the guys you have to compete with, right? If you're a shorter quarterback, these guys who are tall, to compete with these guys, you have to do all the little things better than them. But at the end of the day, that's like in a camp environment, right? I remember going to a camp as a high school player, and I'm not a very big guy. I'm probably like every bit of 5'9", right? And I'm there with guys who are 6'4", 6'5", and at camp say you got to do all the little things better than them. You got to have better footwork. You got to have better arm strength. You got to have better accuracy. And we're going to showcase that in this kid's highlight tape who's below 6 foot, right? But everybody we've seen in the top 20 are all 6 foot and above, right? You got some 6'1", you got some 6 foots, but now let's go through top 25. Everybody's 6'3", 6'3", 6'4", or 6'3", excuse me. And again, guys, it's just one of those things at the quarterback position. You're gonna have to compete with some tall kids. The shortest guy I've seen is 6 foot, right? You got a 6 foot ranked 36, and then a 6 foot ranked a little bit back there, right? So guys, going all the way down this list, the only one that is below 6 foot is ranked 40th in the country, Treston Kinney McMillan out of Hawaii, right? He's a 3-star recruit. Again, ranked 40th in the country out of quarterbacks. So again, guys, I'm not trying to say that you have to be tall to play the quarterback position, but for you to be considered, and again, I want to say he's committed to Washington, for you guys to be considered to play at the Division I level, and you are this height, you are going to have some attributes and showcase some things on film. And that's what Treston does showcase. So we're going to take a look at his highlight tape and talk about some of those things that shorter quarterbacks need if you don't fit the height criteria at the next level, if you want to play next level football, okay? So I hope that helps, guys. I hope you guys kind of get some better insight on what college coaches are looking for from this film that we're going to be breaking down. But before I get into that, you guys, if you're a quarterback and this offseason you are looking for something to do, a schedule to follow with the exact on-field drills you should be doing, gym exercises you should be doing, check out that very first link in the description below for our elite quarterback training package. What you will get access to is 8 weeks of on-field quarterback throwing workouts, footwork workouts, mechanic workouts, etc., and 8 weeks of gym workouts that quarterbacks should follow, because quarterbacks have to train differently from everybody else in the gym. We break down every single exercise. Monday you're doing this, Tuesday you're doing that. We talk about the exact sets and reps to follow, and we give you video examples of each exercise and drill. So guys, if this is of interest to you, check out that very first link in the description below if you want to take quarterback skills to the next level this offseason. Again, very first link in that description below. Let's get back to this video. So let's take a look at his film. So this is like, we're going to go through like probably the first 5 plays of his highlight tape, okay? So this first play, I want you guys to pay attention to this. Opposite hash, throwing a monster deep post. That showcases what? Showcases arm strength. And this was a completion. That was a touchdown, right? I know it cuts off right here. I apologize for that. But let's talk about how far this throw is, right? He threw this from the 35. So you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 yards at least. 35 yards, 40 yards, 45. That's about a 50-yard ball from the opposite hash. This was not middle of the field. This was not short side of the field. So this guy has a cannon for an arm. So if you're a shorter quarterback, guys, you better bring some arm strength to the table because that's a question, right? Because again, the 6'4", 6'5" quarterback has a monster arm, chances are. Because you looked at that list that we just scrolled through. What are they? 6'3", 225, 230, 215. They're big kids, man. So they are going to have naturally just more arm strength. That's just how it works, guys. But that doesn't mean that a short guy can't have arm strength either because you see this right here. But that's going to be a major question. That's why a lot of guys don't recruit the shorter quarterbacks because they think, oh, they can't make the college level throws. So on your highlight tape, which is what gets you recruited at the end of the day, it's your highlight tape. You have to showcase that you have arm strength, opposite hash throws. Because in college, guys, they're going to expect you to throw a 10 to 12-yard speed out on time from the opposite hash. They're going to expect you to throw a comeback route from the opposite hash. They're going to expect you to throw a deep post from the opposite hash. Those are college level throws that you have to be able to make, and you need to showcase that, guys, on your highlight tape. Arm strength is one of the most important things that short guys can ultimately show. Now, this is another example of piercing accuracy because I would say there's like probably 5 attributes that a college coach is looking for in a recruit, especially a quarterback. And we're going to talk about all 5 of those. But the first one's arm strength. The second one's going to be accuracy and throwing with anticipation. So watch this throw right here. Again, opposite hash throw, just throws a dime right over the top. Tight coverage, perfect ball. Again, how far is this? This is probably about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 yards. Almost on a line. Perfect dime, dropping it in the bucket. That's anticipation. And when he let go of this thing, this receiver was at the 20, and he's throwing this thing to the goal line. That's anticipation, guys. So, again, arm strength, accuracy, and anticipation are 2 things that they're going to be looking for in short quarterbacks. Because remember, this guy's only 5'10", so he has to have these attributes or else they're not even going to look at him. Now, this third play is my favorite play on his tape because as a shorter guy, you need to be mobile. I'm not asking you to be Lamar Jackson. I'm not asking you to be Kyler Murray, but you have to be able to extend plays. And I don't think this quarterback is like the fastest guy in the world, but he can move. And you have to be able to showcase. Now, again, if you're shorter and you're not a guy who's going to make this type of play that I'm about to show right here, totally fine. You just have to be able to get out of the pocket and throw on the run. You have to be able to buy some time with your feet in the pocket, step up, drift back, create throwing windows, find open receivers. Those are the things they're looking for in terms of escapability and mobility. So, let me play this example right here because this is a fantastic play. This is, again, the third play on his highlight tape. Pulls this ball down, outruns the entire defense, guys, because you look at any short quarterback, guys, and again, he gets tackled at the 10, but so what? That's a big run. That shows that he could actually move. But look at any modern-day short quarterback, right? With the exception of Drew Brees, but there's something that Drew Brees had that not a lot of short quarterbacks has, of lightning fast release, right? So you could always make up for this stuff by getting the ball out of your hands quickly because, again, we can't see. So you got to get the ball out of your hands quickly. But every modern-day short quarterback, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Johnny Manziel, anybody that's short on the short side, Bryce Young. Bryce Young, I know, doesn't move around a lot, but he can move. There are clips of him in college extending the play and going. They're going to want to see mobility out of you. So if you're a slower guy and you're short, I highly suggest working on your speed. I highly suggest working on your agility because those things need to translate to your game, and you need to be able to showcase these things on film. So let's look at this next example here. This is another perfect example of, I would say, arm strength, accuracy, and something they are going to want to see, you guys. Take this from me because this was probably when I played quarterback in high school and was getting recruited. Every coach that I talked to said one thing about my film: you can throw while getting hit, and we like that. We like that you could stay in there and take some shots from guys and actually be able to deliver the ball, because that's always a question about shorter guys. Can they see and can they take hits? Like, because again, you're undersized, right? So he's standing in the pocket, staring right down the barrel, takes a hit, and just throws a dart over the middle. Again, arm strength, accuracy, anticipation, and then being able to throw while getting hit. So short guys, I told you there's probably 5 things they're looking for. Number 1 is arm strength. Number 2 is accuracy. Number 3 is anticipation. 4 is extending the play. And then 5 is being able to throw while getting hit. And if you could showcase those things on your film and you are dominant on film, guys, I'm telling you this right now, your height will not matter. But if you don't check those boxes, the height will start to matter.